So many secrets are about to be revealed. Hello my lovely dreamers, and welcome into today's video. Hopefully your guys' day is going beautifully. This video has been long awaited, and I figured what better day to post this on than our 1 year anniversary, which is insane that it's 1 year. Where did the time go? But I figured that there was no other better video to do as a 1 year special than a get to know my characters video, because they're the reason that this channel exists, is their storylines and everything. This is going to be a very long video, so if you have to grab something to snack on, to drink, go ahead and do that, because we are going to be here for a hot minute. It's going to be a little podcast video, I think. So yeah, hopefully you guys are excited for this little get to know my characters video. But yeah, without further ado, let's jump in, because we currently have at least 42 characters to talk about, and those are just ones that have been seen on camera, not even including background characters that we haven't seen. There's so much. Yeah. But I figured the best way to go ahead and share my characters, talk about them, and share their stories is I'm gonna try to keep them grouped together, kind of in the same stories that they are seen in. So I'll talk about the stories, I'll talk about the story titles and stuff like that, and then the characters that are in those stories. I might jump around a little bit, just by talking, but hopefully everything is like coherent and everything. But yeah, so I'm anxious, but let's dive in. So I'm gonna start with some characters that don't necessarily have a set story that they are locked in. Oh, I should also preface this, that technically all of my characters do exist in the same universe, which is why we see interactions with a lot of them. Because technically they are all in the same universe. The stories that I've seen so far, the way that I'm telling them is they kind of happen one after another, and they are all in the same universe. Now, I do see, however, and I will get into this more when we talk about Celine, I picture my world as if there's different planes of existence, kind of like how we do have here on Earth. Technically, I believe that there are 13 planes of existence on Earth. If you think about Earth and then like the ghostly plane, the astral plane, and stuff like that, when I was thinking of my world, thinking of my characters and stuff like that, I envisioned it as if there are many, many more fantasy-based planes. So that it all exists on one world, one realm, but depending on which plane you are on in that realm will determine on what characters you see, and what storyline is being told and stuff like that. Because there's some realms where magic doesn't exist. There's some realms where it's purely only magic. There's some realms like the celestial plane. I'm calling them realms. They're planes of existence because they're all in the same world. But there's a celestial plane where the celestials live and stuff like that. So I will say, when it comes to the celestial plane, this is the one that I kind of have a much like deeper visual of, and that's that when it comes to the regular plane of existence, it's just like our plane, where magic, it does exist, but people don't believe in it. So people don't seek it out, and people don't see it every day, which is where Calliope is technically from. Is from just the regular plane of existence. Now, here in our world, how we see the sun, we see that as this orb in the sky, this star, the moon is the moon, it's just like this orb. But when you go to the celestial plane of existence and you fall through the planes, you can actually see them as these goddess type characters. And that is what they represent and stuff. But let's go ahead and jump into our first character. And these are going to be characters that don't necessarily have any storyline based on them yet. Or at least, let me preface this, at least storylines that have been talked about yet. So their story titles haven't been revealed and stuff like that yet, because things are still being worked out and figured out with them. Let's go ahead and start off with Aurelise, our guardian angel character. I love her so freaking much. She needed some work when we first hung out with her. She definitely still, I think, needs more work on her. She's nowhere near done yet with being finalized on what her character looks like. But she is, just as her title is, a guardian angel. She watches over others and she helps guides them. I need to calm down. She helps guide them to their destiny and stuff like that, and she helps keep them safe and stuff. She watches over others, which for me, I've talked about this before in my live streams. I've been through quite a few accidents in my life, things that I don't know how I'm still standing, to be honest, but I've always believed that I've had a guardian angel watching over me simply because of the things that I've been through, which I'll probably do a video in the future talking about some of the accidents that I've been through, just because it's still mind-blowing to me, and there's a lot of unpacked trauma that I'm not ready to unpack yet, but there might be a video about that later on, because who knows, it might help somebody. But I will say though that I've always pictured a guardian angel watching over me, and that's what's kind of kept me safe. And so that's why Aurelise means so much to me, because that is my guardian angel. That's who I picture when it comes to that. Aurelise's name also is derived from a couple of different things mixed together. Aura, which there was a short that a lot of my characters have nicknames, or they have just the first letter of their name and stuff like that, and that's what other characters in the universe calls them. Calliope is K, and Aurelise is Aura. But Aurelise's name comes from aura, light, and brightness, because she's just this very powerful white light character. She's very soft, very gentle, very comforting character. But yeah, so that is Aurelise. The next one that we will talk about is actually a new character, not new to me, but new to the channel, Seraphina Shade. I love her so much. If you guys haven't seen the shorts with her, she is my Dead Witch character. She was actually technically my first ever original character that I have ever created, the first storyline I ever created. And that was because when I think I was 10 when I came up with her. It was for a Halloween party, and I never really liked any of the regular Halloween costumes that you would get at the store. I always wanted to vamp it up. I always wanted to go even further into cosplay and stuff like that, which I didn't know what cosplay was at the time. But I've always loved dressing up and telling stories and stuff. And Seraphina Shade is my Dead Witch character that I actually made for a Halloween party once. And I remember telling her story and everything to everybody there, anybody that asked about my costume. I remember sitting there and just being and just talking about her story to them. And I'm so excited to bring this character back and to show her on screen. She doesn't necessarily have a set storyline right now, just because there are hundreds of different things that I want to do with her character. But she is I would not say that she's either a villain or a hero. She is very much in the middle. She believes in helping others, but at the exact same time, she is just like you made this mess yourself. Like nope. She just kind of, I don't know how to like explain her, but she's very much like in the middle. Like she's not good and she's not bad. She is directly in the middle. If there was any like neutral character, it is her. I will say there's gonna be quite a few shorts that I show where she is evil, just because playing evil characters are so fun. I love it. But that is Seraphina Shade. She is our Dead Witch character. She still needs some more work done on her look. It is very, like, I've only hung out with her once. Her look is not finalized by any means, which is actually to say with a lot of my characters, or all of my characters, their looks are not finalized. I think that the character that is, like, the closest to being finalized is probably Isla, but even then, she's still gonna be growing. We've been doing this for 1 year. We are still working through things. We are still figuring things out. And yeah. So Seraphina does need a new updated look as well. But I do love her so much. I love her outfit. The hat that I made for her is so cute, and I love it. I'm living for it. So we will go ahead and jump into next talking about Zafrina, who is our mind-weaving tiefling, our toxic waste tiefling. I kind of have been going back and forth with both titles for her because she's very much both of them. I feel like I'm gonna end up creating a different toxic waste character. But for the most part, Zafrina is both, because she lives in a toxic wasteland. So kind of if you think about Wally, that's kind of like what I picture her being in, is in a place like Wally, and she's like one of the only people that are there. And there was a short that I created with her where it was people are trying to like get her to come, try to get her to come with them to help them because her power is like super like advanced. And can help with a lot of different things with like winning battles and stuff like that. But she has the ability to kind of like alter somebody's physical, she can alter somebody's brain chemistry to change what they are seeing in front of them, which is why she technically lives in a toxic wasteland, but she can change that and make it just not look like one. And the things that she changes, like she actually changes it to where not only it's not like a holographic. It's not holographic. It like changes into the actual thing. But pretty much it's like this orange desert wasteland. That kind of like she kind of, because her skin tone's also orange, she blends into her environment as well, which is something really cool with her. But yeah, she is the mind-weaving tiefling. Again, there's not really a set storyline with her. I just kind of like messing around with stuff and telling a whole bunch of different stories all mixed together with these characters, because it's fun when you get all of these different powers and all of these different character types and personalities, and you mix them together, and you just see what you can come up from there. But yeah, anything that is canon to my characters, I have my playlist set up to where if it's for a story, it will be in that storyline, that story titles playlist. For example, The Broken Throne, which is Ellarine's story. I don't think I've actually created a playlist for that yet. But like Shadowbound and stuff like that, like the story title playlists, those ones are canon to the characters and their stories. And everything else is technically not canon, unless stated otherwise in the comment section or something. But just because I like messing with things and I like seeing, I just like letting my imagination run wild and seeing what I can come up with and stuff. But yeah, that is Zafrina, our mind-weaving tiefling. Excuse me. We haven't seen her too much. I've only hung out with her once as well. On to Luminara, our saltwater mermaid. I love Luminara. She has on her arm what is supposed to resemble a tattoo, and it is a trident on her arm with some like waves crashing and stuff. Her look is not where I want it to be. I'm still working on practicing my makeup skills and everything with these characters and stuff. But I want her color scheme to be blue, orange, and white is her color scheme for her. She also has 2 other sisters who we have not seen on camera yet. Their names, I'm still figuring out what I want their names to be, but they are the Freshwater Mermaid and the Siren. The Freshwater Mermaid is going to be pink and like blue and stuff, and the Siren I want to be like red, black, and green. I think would be really pretty color combination together. But yeah, so we are still working on their stories. We've only hung out with Luminara once. We have a couple of shorts with her that have been released. But yeah, we're still working through with her, but she is our saltwater mermaid. Yeah. Oof. There's so many characters. I think I need to like breathe because I'm talking very fast. Hopefully you guys are keeping up with me. Okay, let's jump on to the next character, Makara, our mechanical fawn. I love her so much. She is so pretty. She does need a little bit more work on her look, as does everybody, but I am very excited for her and her storyline. Her storyline hasn't really been shown yet, but it's really cool. There's definitely a couple of different things that I want to show with her character. There's a different couple of avenues that I can take and stuff that I want to mess around with her with storytelling purposes. So she doesn't necessarily have a set canon story, but she has a lot of different stories that I want to share with her that we will be seeing over time. But for the most part, she is a mechanical fawn. She's a robot, pretty much, who just looks appearance-wise like a fawn. And she very much is, I want to say that she's not really a hero or a villain either. She's very much like in between because she is a robot. She doesn't really have emotions, but she can catch up. She can pick up on others' emotions and stuff like that. And she like reads people very well. Because she sees humanity as this almost like virus that has like destroyed the planet, and she wants to kind of save the planet and stuff. But she isn't against all humans. Like her inventor that she has, there's a couple, I play it both ways where like she doesn't like her inventor, but at the exact same time she does like her inventor. It just depends on the day, depends on the story that I'm telling with her. But she's very much both because I like to show her as both good and evil, because it's just fun that way. It's just fun to explore all the different avenues with these characters and stuff. But yeah, so that is Makara, our mechanical fawn, and her name is also derived by aura and mechanical. So it's the mixture of the two, Makara. But yeah, on to, let me see here. We'll move on to Kilana, our garden fairy. She is actually super cool. I love the wig that I made for her. Because like I actually like styled that wig, which I think is so cool. I definitely need to restyle it though, because I did not set it before wearing it. So the braids have kind of fallen out and stuff. So I do need to redo her wig, but I love her so much. She's pretty much, what is the best way I can describe this? She is tiny, okay? When I picture her, she's like this big. Like, she's like a miniature garden statue. That's what she is. She's a garden statue. She's a garden fairy. You know those like little statues, I'll probably put a picture here. Those like little statues that you get for like your front lawn and stuff like that, like those gnomes and stuff. That is what she is, but she comes to life when nobody's looking and stuff like that. She is a fairy and pixie dust and all that kind of stuff, which is why her magic that she has a lot is like the glitter and stuff like that. I love her so much. She is so pretty. And that is also the reason why the flowers in her hair are huge, because they're like regular flowers, but to her they are massive because she's tiny. She's tiny. But yeah, that is Kilana. There's not really a set storyline for her either. I'm kind of just messing around with a bunch of different stuff, but I really like the idea of her being like very small scale, where like in her world there's a whole bunch of different creatures and stuff like that that are like fit to her scale, whereas like she lives on Earth, where everything else, like unless you're looking closely at it, you don't notice that she's there, which I love. Who next? Okay. Our hero and villain characters are next. Kiara and Layla. I love them so much. They're just regular hero and villain archetypes. I like to mess with them a lot and play out different stories with them. There's not a whole bunch that I can talk about them other than the fact that Kiara is a hero and Layla is a villain. And they butt heads a lot. They're best friends. They're siblings. They're anything and everything. Sometimes it's Kiara turning into a hero. Sometimes it's Layla turning into, or it's Kiara turning into a villain. It's Layla turning into a villain. Girl. I need to slow down and not talk so fast. Kiara is the hero. Layla is the villain. Sometimes Kiara likes to turn into the villain. Sometimes Layla likes to turn into the hero. I like to play different storylines with them as well. I am talking way too fast. I'm sorry, guys. This is like my first time actually in front of a camera and filming, just sitting down talking to you guys. Hopefully this is entertaining, and I'm not like jumping around too much or like talking too fast. But yeah. So that is Kiara and Layla, our hero and villain characters. The next character that we will talk about is Vivian, our vampire. She does have a storyline that I want to get to eventually, which is kind of what we've seen in the past with her. Sometimes it's her already being a vampire, sometimes it's her turning into a vampire, sometimes it's her not wanting to be a vampire and stuff like that. But she's just so freaking cool. I love vampires. If you guys don't know, because if you guys are on the live streams, you probably don't know, but I am obsessed with the Vampire Diaries. So I obviously wanted a vampire character because I just love them so much. But yeah, so that is Vivian. She is, I just love her. I just love her look. I love her style. The only thing that might be changing about her is her top, just because I'm not a big fan of like off the shoulder tops. Especially that one, because that one kind of like rolls weird when I'm filming and it just gets annoying to like adjust it all the time. I say that as I'm wearing an off the shoulder top, but like this one doesn't count because like this one, like the sleeves are not necessary. But yeah, so that is Vivian, our vampire character. Yeah, there's not really much to say about her, but there is a storyline that I want to get to eventually with her, that we've kind of seen in the past a little bit, where she's like the only vampire left. She's the only one of her family left. And there's a reason for that we will get to eventually with our shorts. Okay. Ooh, okay. Let's go to Odette, our Dream Guardian character. She just had an update. She just had a glow up. She's gorgeous. I love her so much. She's so pretty. She has ram horns. I don't know why I chose ram horns for her, but they're just so fitting. I love them so much. They're actually one of my favorite headpieces. I just love how they look so much. She is so pretty. And then she has her white flowy hair, because it just, a lot of my characters have white hair, but I just feel like it's very ethereal to me, and I just am obsessed with that so much. And she has like purple eyes and stuff like that. Her color scheme is like purples and like light greens, very like soft colors, but with like a purple undertone. She's just very gorgeous, and I love her so much. How many times am I gonna say that I love these characters? Because I do. But yeah, there's not really much to go on with Odette other than when I was coming up with her, I wanted to have a character that like resembled our channel, Lexi'sDaydreams. I wanted something to do with dreaming and stuff, which is why I came up with Odette. We do have a nightmare character that I am on the work on with her, just because I love to play with the two like opposites of each other and stuff like that, and mix them together. But yeah, I love Odette so much. The first short that I did with her was her helping somebody fall asleep who had insomnia, because I get really bad anxiety, especially when it comes to nighttime. I don't know why, but when I try to like fall asleep at night, I get very bad anxiety, and then I get insomnia and can't sleep. And so this character, I created that storyline after having a night like that again, and I was like, hopefully this helps somebody. So sometimes her powers consist of helping somebody reach their goals, helping somebody uncover trauma in sleep and stuff like that, because your dreams do help you move forward in your subconscious to heal and stuff like that. And so like that's all about her character, is helping others heal while they're dreaming and stuff. Another reason why I love her so much is my tagline, "Stay Dreaming." She is like the top character for this, but basically the reason why I say stay dreaming is because you are the only one in control of your life. You can do anything your heart wants. The only thing stopping you is yourself, because that dream does not end unless you decide it does. You might be on a different path than what you want to be, but you can always turn things around and get it back onto the track that you want it to be on. Because again, you are the only one standing in your way. Nobody else can tell you to stop dreaming your dream. Nobody else can tell you to stop reaching towards that goal that you want besides yourself. And so having a character that like represents helping others reach their goals, I really wanted that. And so Odette came to light because of that. But yeah, so that is Odette, our Dream Guardian character. I'm gonna get some water because my voice is dying. Okay. Who's on next? On to our next character, Aries, our AI robot. I love Aries so much. I don't know why or how, but I discovered when I first started doing this channel, I discovered that I can mimic a robot. And I can just like flip it on like that, and I'm just, I think it's pretty cool. And so I wanted to create an AI robot character because I really enjoy acting in that aspect, just because it's a lot of fun. It's really cool. And I always like how the videos turn out. Excuse me. But Aries' name does stand for something. It stands for artificially intelligent. I'm gonna say this wrong. Okay, after the intermission because my brother left. Aries' name does stand for something. It stands for artificially intelligently responsive. My brother's car is loud. Okay, anyways. Aries' name does stand for something. It stands for artificially intelligently responsive engineered software, which I absolutely love. I was just kind of like messing with things because I wanted her name to be like an anagram and stuff. Is that the right word? Anagram? Maybe? I don't know. But I really liked how her name came together. My brain just poofed and came out with it, and I was like, I like that. We're gonna do that. Anyways, we haven't seen too many videos with her. I think we've only seen like one video with her, but I want to do more with her. My most difficult thing is trying to figure out her makeup. I'm trying to figure out what makeup to do with her. So we're figuring that out, but it's taking a minute. So we will be hanging out with her as soon as I work a couple of things out and I practice more makeup looks with her. But on to the next character who, she's not necessarily in a set story, but she's also in every story. For no reason other than the fact that she's like almost like a comedic relief, is Serana. I love Serana so much. Her first look, I actually love, and I think I'm gonna revert slightly back to that one compared to what her look is now, because I do not like her current look right now at all. I don't like having. I've been trying to do like swooshes under the from like the inner corner of the nose under the eye like hers. I don't like them on like any colors or in any color characters, so I just need to stop doing that because I don't like how it looks. But I want to redo her makeup. She looked so pretty in the beginning, and I want to switch it back to that. But she is a comedic relief character. I love her so much. She's just so fun to hang out with. She's always playing pranks on all of the other characters and stuff. She is a nymph, kind of like a fairy, but she has no wings. She lives in the forest. She actually is from the forest, and by that I mean like she's like literally the forest. She's like if the trees, the grass and stuff like that came to life and formed a being, like that is Serana. She is just a part of the forest, but she's such a hoot to play with, and to hang out with. She likes to play pranks on everybody, which is really fun. But yeah, so that is Serana, our little prankster forest nymph. On to next, I'm gonna talk about Alondra. Alondra is set in a storyline already, but we are working through her character. She is technically, secrets are gonna be revealed. She's technically in the Broken Throne. But she's more of a side character in the Broken Throne than anything to do with like the main storyline or anything like that. I mean, she's to do with the main storyline, but she's just like a side character in it. But her character, I want to work on a main storyline for her, which has been seen a little bit in the first short that I posted with her. I think I've only ever posted one short with her, and that's because I don't like how her makeup is at all. I need to fix it. I need to fix my girl. Because I love her so much. She is such a beautiful character. She is a ferryman. Alondra, our ferryman character. She is forced to, or she's not forced, but she chooses to go live in the underworld to transport souls across the river Styx and stuff. Basically, what she does is the souls that pass away, she ends up transporting them to their afterlife. That is who she is as a ferryman character. And to do that, she ends up saving somebody that she loves very dearly for. However, the curse for her, though, is she can, one, never return, and two, her memories, well, not memories, because she keeps her memories, but her emotions. She becomes very, like, standoffish the longer that she's in the underworld, because she loses more of her humanity. She loses more of her humanity. Am I saying that right? She loses more of herself the longer that she's under there, because she becomes more of the spectral world, more of the spectral plane, and stuff. And so human emotions that she used to have kind of like slide under the radar from her, which is like her curse. But I love Alondra so much. I love her storyline and I love her character a lot, and I want to hang out with her again, but I need to figure out her look for that as well. Alrighty, on to Ivania, our Fae princess. I love Ivania so much. She's also another comedic relief character. She just likes having fun, playing pranks on people. She loves weapons. Yeah. But she's so fun to play with. She's just a little Fae princess, and stuff like that. But yeah, so that is Ivania. There's not really much to talk about her. I love her look. I don't really think she's gonna change at all. She just has, her look is very basic, just basic makeup, purple eyes, little elf ears. She has like this orange corset on. But yeah, I love her so much. She's just a very basic character. I just wanted something that was simple, just because I love simplicity in things sometimes. But yeah. Okay. Who to talk about next? Let's jump on to Ember, our fire fae. Well, she's more of a fire spirit. Like, she is fire in and of herself. Where fire comes from, my brain just started playing the Cotton Eye Joe song in my brain. It's fun, brain. Thank you for that. She is fire herself. Fire comes from her. Like, any source of fire, campfire, like, if it's campfire, if it's just, like, a fireplace or whatever, like, that fire is her. That is Ember. She's very powerful. People have tried to capture her before. People have tried to, like, use her before and stuff like that, because she's very powerful. She's fire in and of herself. And then I've also shown her with our ice spirit as well, and stuff. I do plan on coming out with all of the elements as spirits and stuff like that, and like them in and of themselves being that element and stuff, because it's just a lot of fun. I love it. But yeah, so there's not much to Ember. Her look, we actually came up with during our Live Miss streams, where we went live once every day of December until Christmas, with like a little advent calendar and stuff like that. She came to life during that, and yeah, I like her a lot. I definitely want to work on her look a little bit, but yeah, I think she is a very cool and fun and unique character. But yeah, we'll jump on to our ice spirit since we just talked about Ember. We'll talk about Aniria. I love her name so much. Her name was actually recommended to me during was it, I think it was Live Miss Day 1, when we went live for every day until Christmas. Live Miss Day 1, I think is when we hung out with her. Was that her or was it Tanaya? I don't remember now. But we went live with her, and somebody recommended her name Aniria because it represents ice and snow and stuff. And I thought that was a beautiful name, and I absolutely love that name so much. But yeah, she's a very beautiful character. I don't think much is going to be changing about her. I think I might change her makeup up a little bit. But yeah, I like her a lot. Fun fact about her, actually, because in like everything that she has been shown in, or pretty much everything that she's been shown in, she appears to be blue. Like I had painted my skin blue. Fun fact though, I did not paint my skin blue. My skin literally just had, it was just me with like, I used like dark blue contour and stuff like that. But it was just my regular skin tone. And then I put a blue, I had my ring light. Actually, I can change this light here. Like my skin tone just picks up on color very well. And so I literally just had my ring light as blue and filmed like that. And so she looks like I painted myself blue, but I did not. Can I switch this back, please? Thank you. Let's go ahead and scooch that back over here. But yeah, I actually did not paint myself blue for that. It was just me. It's just me. Just little Lexi. But yeah, I love how her look is. I love the wig that she has too. That blue wig. It has 2 light blue streaks in it. And it's so pretty. The curls and everything. It's just a very beautiful wig. And I love her look so much. But yeah, that is Aniria. She is ice in and of herself. But yeah, let's go ahead and jump onto our Star Wars characters that we have shown. So we have our Blue Jedi and our Gray Jedi. We also have been messing with our Sith Lord, but we haven't shown her yet. And I don't have a set name for the Sith Lord yet, because we're still working with her. But our Blue, which technically, I did post The Fall of an Empire and the Rise of a Daughter short video. I do have a storyline that I want to work with them with, but I don't know when I'm going to get to that. But with that video, I did post in the comment section or in this description a little like background as to what is happening with these characters and stuff. But basically, I need to not say her name wrong. Vidorian, our Jedi, her mom was like the head person of the Resistance until her mom fell. And so everything that she knew just disappears within an instant. And she has to choose between either following the orders that she is given or taking a step back and becoming her own person in order to lead the new Resistance to save the Empire. I love Star Wars so much. It was one of the first shows that I ever watched with my stepdad, actually, and I just have a lot of fun memories watching the movies and stuff like that, and stuff. And yeah, I wanted to have some Star Wars characters because Star Wars to me means a lot with my childhood and my past and stuff like that. So I love Star Wars. So I was very excited when I was given an opportunity to bring them to life. Our Gray Jedi character, who Vidorian sometimes turns into the Gray Jedi, sometimes it's the Gray Jedi turning into Vidorian. It just really depends on the day and what I'm feeling like filming and stuff. But Lanayla is the Gray Jedi. That's her name, is Lanayla. I actually love her so much. I love these 2 names for them. I think that they're super unique, and I really like that for them. But yeah, so I do have a set storyline that I want to get to eventually with them, but we haven't really seen too much about it and stuff. But yeah, we will see that hopefully soon. On to, I think that this is going to be the last character to talk about that hasn't had their storyline shown yet. So after this character, we'll jump into the storylines and the other characters that are in those storylines. But Falinne is our Muse character. And I love her so much with all my heart. She does have a set storyline that I want to get to eventually. At the time that this video goes live, I have it currently recorded in my, I have it recorded and edited in my folder, but I don't know when I'm going to post the video. So I don't know if that video is going to go live before or after this video is live. But there is a video that either came out or coming out soon of her telling a character, telling a character that she will follow them anywhere after they have entered the maze. And that is because let me explain her character type and then explain her story. Her character type is to be the Muse. So she inspires others around her. Her essence, she is constantly pushing out magic from her body that is inspiration. She pushes out inspiration from her body, which is what those purple glowing streaks are. That's her pushing out the inspiration. But she I'm saying a lot. Yeah, she's just the Muse. She inspires others around her, inspires them to fight, inspires them to be creative, inspires them to love themselves. She is inspiration in and of herself in more than just a creative aspect. And I love that so much with her. But yeah, that is Falinne. Falinne. Her name is very hard for me to say, but I love it so much. But I love her so much. And yeah, her storyline, she basically, there's this maze and this character, and not, I don't know if I'm going to try to say her name because I don't have the name written down in front of me right now. But there's this character who basically ends up getting forced to enter this maze. This maze that they have to go through is enjoyment for the noble class of the kingdom. And it will give them, if they end up being able to pass the maze and all of the trials in it, they will be able to have a one-on-one dinner with the king, with the royal class. And so the hopes that this character is brought is that she is going to enter this maze because she's forced to, and she finds out that she actually has this power hidden inside of her that Falinne is able to bring out with her inspiration, which is why she's following her around, because her inspiration is helping push this power out from this other character. And once she is able to get through this maze, her hopes is to end up being able to take over the crown as soon as she can get that one-on-one with the king and stuff. But yeah, that's just like a little storyline that we're working with her. But I'm very excited for it because I think it's going to turn out really fun and stuff. And yeah. Okay, let's go ahead and jump into Alcyra's story. Oh, I love Alcyra so much. She is the dragon rider And her story is called The Fatal Rain. And her story is actually the one that I'm currently writing right now as a book, which is just insane to think about. The fact that literally a year ago, if you asked me if I was going to write a book, I flat out told you no. Like, I don't have time for that. Like, I'm not doing that. Until I had a lovely little 8-hour flight from, because I work on cruise ships for a living, and I was on a flight back from my contract, and I was bored, so I decided to start writing. Little did I know that I now have an entire book that I am working on. Funny how things change just randomly. You just get inspiration from the smallest thing, and it blooms into something just incredible. And so I am writing the book, The Fatal Rain. So there's not much that I want to really talk about it, just because I don't want to spoil too much. But we have seen some stuff with her, talking about her story and stuff. I am definitely showing shorts that are like canon to her story and stuff. And I have a few more recorded that I haven't posted yet. But she's just a very cool character. She very much like, she's a little warrior. She's just very fun. She has dragon blood running in her veins, and that is the main problem in her story, is the fact that she has dragon blood running in her veins. Her story is also one of the 2 stories of mine that are going to connect everybody's story together, which is another reason why I don't want to talk too much about it, because her story and Ellarine's story are the 2 that really makes these worlds connect. Especially the ending of this story, let me just say, you guys aren't even ready. You guys are not even ready for how her story ends, because it just opens up our worlds, and stuff like that. But yeah, so I'm very excited for Elsyra's story. But she is our dragon rider. Okay. Let me go ahead and jump over to... Okay, I'm gonna jump over to Prismara, because Prismara is currently in a story, but I don't know if she's going to stay in that story or not. Prismara is our crystal dragon. I have only filmed like 1 video with her because I don't like how she looks at all. I'm working with how she looks. It also happened that my phone fully like crashed and broke. Like the screen completely went out on my phone when I was filming with her, so I only was able to film 1 thing. And then I did cry for like 3 hours afterwards because I didn't know if I lost all of my content or not. Thankfully I didn't, but I had to get my phone fixed. So we only have 1 video with Prismara so far, but she is our crystal dragon and she needs a lot of work done to her. But she is like the head keeper of all of the crystals in her cave. Her cave that she lives in is hidden from society, like all society and everything. And that is a very special reason, is that she is in charge of 1 crystal in particular that can transport anybody through the different planes of existence. So if somebody else managed to get their hands on this crystal, it would jeopardize the entire planet. Not just their plane, but the entire realm with all of the planes combined. And so her job is to watch over that and keep it guarded. And then because she is secluded, there isn't any fays or anything with her, but there are sprites. These sprites are actually the crystals themselves. They kind of look like glowing orbs, and which is why we will eventually see the crystals come to life as characters and stuff like that. We'll have like an amethyst one, a lapis lazuli one, and stuff like that, because they live with Prismara, but Prismara is pretty much secluded other than these sprites that are with her. And also the fun thing with these sprites too, which I haven't mentioned either, is that they can't really communicate the way that we do with language and everything. They talk in like a it's like a what's the best way I can describe this? It's like a little like little bell sound that they sound like. You can't really like hear them other than like a little like ring ring when they're like talking, which I think is cool. It's like their own language. We'll go ahead and talk about Ellarine, who is our warrior character. She is depicted as a warrior, but she is more depicted as a rebel. She did not want to be a warrior at all. That is not who she is. But when her kingdom fell, when somebody close to her fell, and somebody else close to her turned evil, she felt like she had no choice than to rise up and save those that are left. Because she is the only hope left for her people and for her kingdom. So she is a rebel because somebody close to her ended up switching sides. And so she ends up needing to fight back to save the rest of the people, because she realizes that what they are doing is not right. That what they are doing is that they are out for revenge, and she needs to save everybody else from their reign. However, and this is something that I do a lot, which we'll talk about when we get to Eclipse in Shadowbound, the person that is close to her is not doing it because they want to. They are being forced to do it by magic, which is a common theme that I have with a lot of my stories, is that the villain, as much as you want to hate the villain, you can't, because it's not them doing it. It is a evil counterpart that is taking over them, and forcing them to do stuff, which is just like a common theme that I run with, and I love it so much. It's so fun. There's so many different aspects that you can run into with it as well. Yeah, so that's all I'll say about for her. Her story is called The Broken Throne, and it's something that I fully have the script written for what I want to do, but it's going to be a minute before we can get to it, because I'm going to be having somebody help me film it. So as soon as their schedule lines up, we will be filming stuff. But yeah, that is Ellarine in The Broken Throne. She is more of a rebel than she is a warrior, but I love her so much. Let's go ahead and, because we currently now, well, okay, we have 4 stories left to talk about. Okay, because I have her too. We're going to jump into Xena and Tanea. Xena is our wolf character. She is not a werewolf. Not a werewolf. She is a wolf stuck in a human form because she was forced to from, oh, I don't have her on here. Anaya is our dark sorceress character, and she is the one who trapped Xena in her form, because Xena ended up failing to protect something that she was supposed to guard, and so as a betrayal to Enya, or Anaya, she ends up trapping Xena in a human body. And so Xena ends up, her pack ends up not turning on her, but almost like distancing themselves from her. And so she ends up doing some things that I won't talk about yet. But she ends up doing some stuff that saves her and turns her into the alpha of her pack. And so when we see her, when we see the story with her talking about Tanea, she is the one that saves Tanea from, because she is a Silverian Eldari, is Tanea. She is a unique character type, and that's what all of her runes on her are, is that as her power grows, these runes grow with her, and basically she becomes more powerful the more runes that she gets on her skin. And Tanea is our forest protector. Xena is the one that saves Tanea from being exterminated, because the Silverian Eldari are seen to be too powerful and too dangerous to those who don't have magic. And so Tanea is the last one of her kind, but is raised by the alpha Xena. And those two are in the story, those three, because Enya as well, who's our dark sorceress character. Those three are all in the story, torn between worlds. But yeah, so those are those three characters who we will be needing to see soon, because I'm still working on a lot of these characters' looks and stuff like that. But yeah, so those are those characters. Let's go ahead and jump into let's jump into Cursed with Talia, Valora, and Zarina. So Talia is our oracle. She is actually the most seen in most of our stories, and that is because she's the holder of prophecy. She sees things that are going to happen in her eye, in her mind and stuff. And she ends up foretelling what is already going to happen because she sees the future. And with this power, she's actually one of the most powerful characters that I have, because she's the one that moves the stories to actually do the stuff that happens in the future, even though she's already seeing the future stuff happen. So she can kind of have a say in what happens, if she actually manages to tell the prophecy the way that it's supposed to be told and stuff. But yeah, she's our prophecy holder, our oracle, goddess of prophecy, Talia. There's not really much more to her other than she tells the future. She holds the prophecies and stuff. Zarina is our dark enchantress. She is just very evil. I love Zarina so much. She's very evil. She's like evil incarnate. She believes that she is the most powerful in the realm, and that because of that she deserves to rule the realm, which is what happens during Cursed, our short story Cursed, which was actually the first short story that I acted in, which was so fun to do. So she believes that she's the most powerful, and therefore the most fit to rule, which is not the case, because she is evil. But Valora, our phoenix, she holds the power to defeat Zarina. But it is not until after Zarina's first fight with Valora. Valora has magic in herself, and everything, but she does not become the phoenix until after she technically dies from Zarina. That in the story Cursed, when Zarina tries to attack her with her magic, Valora gets hit and then turns into the phoenix. Her body absorbs the spell and therefore rejuvenates itself, and becomes the phoenix herself, which is when Valora then has the power to defeat Zarina. But then Zarina's like, how did you escape? How did you just survive that? And skips town to figure out okay, how am I going to defeat this girl? But little to her knowledge, she just gave Valora the key to defeat her. But that is cursed. That is Valora, Zarina, and Talia. Okay, we'll go ahead and talk about Calliope's story with the Whispering Tide. Whew, that one has been a long one in coming. I wanted to film that video last year for you guys, but I did not have time because the weather did not permit for some of the scenes that I wanted to film outside, and it's still not 100% what I wanted it to be because I actually wanted to film at the beach, and I am not going to have time to do that this year either, to actually go to the beach and film. So I just filmed it in my backyard for some of the scenes that I wanted to have outside. But Calliope, she has magic running through her veins. She has the call of the water running through her veins. And yeah, she hears the tide whispering to her, which is the whole whispering tide thing. And she can move water with her own bare hands and stuff. Which is why Morgana, Captain Morgana Blackwater, our dead pirate captain, is after Calliope. It's because she has the power to get Morgana out of her curse. And we will get more into Morgana's curse and Calliope's power and Calliope's mom. We'll get all into that when we get to the second part of Calliope's story, which secrets are going to be revealed, right? It's actually going to be called The Isle of the Lost Souls. So take that as you will. But very excited for Calliope's story to continue. There's a lot behind Calliope. I love pirates and stuff like that. Her story is partially inspired by Pirates of the Caribbean because I love those movies so much, and I love Calliope so much, and her look has definitely changed, and I feel like she is one of the most put together characters now. I love how she looks so much. I'm still working on her hat though. Her hat, I want to have like a bunch of different things put onto it and stuff like that. But yeah, I love these two characters, so hopefully you guys enjoy them as well. Liana as well is also in the Whispering Tide. We didn't see her on camera, but she is Calliope's sister. But yeah, that is the Whispering Tide. On to... Okay, we have two left. We have two stories left to talk about. Both of these stories are massive. They are massive. They have the most characters and they have the most going on in them. I love these two stories so much. There's so much content for me to show you guys with them. And that is Shadowbound and The Fallen Realm. We'll go ahead and talk about Shadowbound first because it has my girl Isla in it, which I am wearing her corset right now because I wanted to, because I made it and I'm obsessed with it. Like, I'm sorry, but I made this from scratch. And she is so cute and I'm so obsessed with it. I'm not wearing the ball gown skirt right now because I didn't want to put it on because it is very heavy. There's so much fabric in it. But it is so pretty. And this is what I will be wearing when I go to the Enchanted Kingdom Ball in November. I'm very excited for that. I don't know how I got a southern accent, but now apparently I got a southern accent. Anyways, I am obsessed with how Isla's top turned out. And she is in Shadowbound. I love her so much. Isla is one of the most, like, there's so much about Isla that I have not revealed yet. But are you guys ready for the biggest spoiler we have in this video? Isla's true character type. She is a human. I have not talked about that before. But Isla is just a human. Does she have magic? Yes. She gets her magic from the moon. Without Nala, our moon character, without Nala, Isla would not have magic at all. I haven't talked about how Isla becomes the Moon Witch. How she became magical, since she is just a human. And I'm hoping to show that in a short soon. Or I'm actually rather hoping to film that as a full-on little backstory video for Isla. So we will see that eventually. But Isla is just a human. And that is very, very vital to how she is going to win the war that she is put in. Yeah. That's all I'm going to say about that for right now. But there's a reason why she's very special to me. I love her so much. There is so much about her. But yeah. And so let's go ahead and get into the rest of Shadowbound. Tora and Nala. Tora is our sun character. Again, when I said earlier that the way that I picture the Celestials is on planet Earth, where Isla's from, they just look like these orbs in the sky. They just look like stars, the way that we see stars. But if you fall through the planes of existence, fall through to the celestial plane, you see them as these goddess characters. Excuse me. Tora looks like how she looks here, and Nala also looks like how she looks like. They have their faces split directly in the middle. Nala's is only on one side. Tora's face paint is on the other side, and that is because together they are whole. But yeah, Tora is the most, she's not the most powerful, but she's the one that needs to be most protected when it comes to the Celestials. When it comes to Eclipse in Shadowbound, Eclipse is after Tora, and that is because Eclipse herself, and this is the reason why it's called Shadowbound, this is also being revealed here, Eclipse herself is Shadowbound. Eclipse originally, before Shadowbound happens, was fighting off the darkness. However, how one becomes Shadowbound is they, because they are stars, they have light inside of them, and that is what makes them glow. That is what makes them be a celestial, is the fact that they have light inside them. But when darkness takes over and that light is vanquished, is vanished, then the celestial dies. However, if that darkness takes root like a virus and it drains the light but doesn't kill the celestial, they become Shadowbound. There's no known cure from being Shadowbound because being Shadowbound is very, very rare. It does not happen like ever. Which I have a couple of shorts showing that when they realize the Eclipse is Shadowbound, they're like, what happened, like how, and stuff. And so they need to they are in this fight because Eclipse was one of the first warriors, first lines of defense when it came to this darkness. She was their strongest warrior, which is why they are all in danger of either becoming Shadowbound or dying from Eclipse, because Eclipse is the darkness now. The darkness has taken over Eclipse and turned her into Shadowbound. And they don't want to hurt Eclipse because Eclipse is their friend. However, Eclipse is no longer there. End quotes. Because she is the darkness. But that is also where Isla jumps into place, and that's all I'll say with that. But yeah, they are at, Eclipse is after Tora because without the sun is the most light in the galaxy. And that is, like, she provides light to Nala, who then provides magic to Isla. So Isla is connected to, like, both of them because Tora is, like, the head of everything. But yeah, so their responsibility is to protect the Celestials from the darkness that is raging war over the Celestials. But yeah. I will also talk about Skylara because she is the Celestial who paints the sky between night and day. She isn't necessarily in Shadowbound, but she's in the celestial plane of existence while Shadowbound is being taken over and stuff. But she just paints the sky. She has a little purple paintbrush with her and stuff like that. She does the sunsets and the sunrises and stuff like that. But yeah, so that is Isla, Eclipse, Skylara, Tora, and Nala. And they are all a part of Shadowbound. We will also be seeing constellations and stuff like that as well, because Eclipse is actively going through and, like, hunting down the Celestials and stuff. But that leads us on to our final story to talk about, The Fallen Realm, which is, I think, one of my biggest stories. I think that's my biggest story. I think The Fallen Realm is my biggest story. There's so many characters in it. There's so much going on in it. We did have a little trailer for it as well, which I really want to continue filming that. I want to film it almost like a shorts series as well. But yeah, we'll see how we film this story, but I absolutely love this story so much. I do feel like eventually I'll end up writing The Fallen Realm as a book, just because there's so much in it that I don't know, I really don't think I can film and actively show you guys everything that's happening in it. But there's a lot in The Fallen Realm. We have Lily and Lilith, who are the antagonist of the story. Lily is the queen, who just wants to save. Lily is a very good queen. There's not really an evil bone in her body, but Lilith is the anxiety form that takes over Lily. Lily ends up, and this is part of Mirrored as well, Lilith ends up taking over Lily via the mirror. You can see the two differences and stuff like that, because Lily is not Lilith, but Lilith is Lily. Lily would exist without Lilith, but Lilith cannot exist without Lily. Which is kind of weird when you think about it, but it also kind of makes sense. Because Lilith in and of herself is anxiety. And when Lily's husband, the king, passed away due to a fae, she ends up getting really scared that her daughter, who is best friends with faes, is going to end up dying in a similar way. And so Lilith ends up basically telling Lily that, like, hey, I can help you out, but I need you to let me take control, or else you will risk your daughter falling at the same hands, at the same fate. And so Lily agrees because she just wants to protect her family. And so Lilith takes over, and that is the dark form taking over. That is the anxiety taking over her. And so fear can rule. Fear can destroy. And so Alicia, which has not been revealed yet, but again, secrets. Alicia is Lilith's daughter, and she ends up becoming the Fae Huntress, because Lilith decides that Alicia needs to be able to defend herself, and she cannot do that without her emotion, or with her Alicia needs to be able to defend herself from Fae and stuff like that, and not falling at the same fate as her dad did. And so, in order to do that, Lilith takes Lilith takes Alicia's memories and her humanity, her emotions away. She turns her into like a robot, basically. And so that way, Alicia no longer has doubt when it comes to hunting Fae. That way, when it comes down to it, I need to breathe. I'm talking too fast. But yeah, so secrets. Alicia is Lily's daughter. Basically, Lilith ends up injecting Alicia with a serum that takes away her humanity. It takes away her emotions. It makes her turn into this soldier type robot. That way she can defend herself. But not only that, it grows into from defending herself to defending the people of the kingdom as well from falling at similar fates. Because magic is something that they don't have, and so they fear it. They fear the unknown. And so Alicia ends up ends up being forced to get the serum that turns her into a huntress that is then hunting down these fae. Sprigolia is also in the Fallen Realm. She is our flower fae. I don't want to reveal yet how she's important, but she's very important in saving Alicia. Same with Teslarine. Teslarine is the fae queen, so she is the one who is like rival to Lily and Lilith, but not really, because they've always been okay with each other. Like they were friends, which is the whole reason why Teslarine is very like confused as to what is happening and why it's happening. Because they were best friends originally. Teslarine and Lily were best friends, ruling different kingdoms because they had different people, but they were a community. And so Teslarine doesn't want to go after Lilith, but she also realizes that she has to defend her own people, which is why when they find out that it is Alicia who's attacking them, they don't know what to do. And it becomes an internal fight along with an external fight. And then also another character that will be introduced in this story is also going to be Saline. And she is an alien serpent. She is also very vital to the story, and where she comes from is also very vital, because she is not from the plane of existence that the Fallen Realm is on. She is not from there. She ends up, and in one of the first videos that I shared with her, she ends up getting caught by Alicia. But that is because the reason why she's an alien is because Saline ends up falling through the planes unknowingly, and she can't control her magic. So she ends up falling in between the planes of existence and falling into the Fallen Realm. And Sprigolia ends up saving her because Saline's just like looking around being like, oh my gosh, this is so pretty. I don't know how I just ended up here. And Alicia's over here like, oh, you're a fae. I'm a bow and arrow you. But yeah, so they are all very vital to the story, and I think that's all I'm going to share about that for right now. But there's a lot in the Fallen Realm that we will be talking about eventually. We will get to a lot of the stuff eventually. Oh, I forgot about a character. I forgot about Astrid. Astrid is also a celestial that would be seen in Shadowbound, kind of. She's from the same world that Isla is from. She's from Earth. She's not technically magical, but she can hear the whispers of the stars. She can see through the celestial plane. She can see through to the celestial plane. But she's on Earth. So herself is not magical, but her power is. And everybody thinks that she's crazy, which is why one of the videos that I did with her using Luna Lovegood's audio of "You're just as sane as I am" very much resembles with Astrid, because Astrid is talking to Isla there. But yeah, I think that is all of our characters currently, at least the ones that I've written down. I probably am missing a couple, but this video is already so long. But yeah, that was a get to know my characters and their stories video. It's officially 1 year on YouTube, you guys. Oh my gosh, I can't even believe, like, it doesn't register in my mind that it's only been 1 year, but at the exact same time, it's already been a year. It's wild to me. But yeah, hopefully you guys are really enjoying these characters, are really enjoying these stories. Hopefully you guys like this video. Be sure, if you want to check out those long form videos that I have with those characters and their trailers and stuff like that, be sure to check them out on my channel, and like and subscribe for more content, because we are always showing more characters, always showing more stories. My imagination is always running wild. There's so many things going on up in here all the time. Sometimes I get a headache from it, but yeah, hopefully you guys enjoyed this video. And I think that's all for now. Yeah, so much love to all of you guys. Again, you guys are so incredibly loved, and remember to stay dreaming, because the only one stopping you from completing your dreams is yourself. Love you guys. I'll see you guys in the next one. Bye!